The Royal Victorian Order is a dynastic order of knighthood established in 1896 by Queen Victoria. It recognizes distinguished personal service to the monarch of the Commonwealth realms, members of the monarch's family, or to any viceroy or senior representative of the monarch. The present monarch, Queen Elizabeth.II, is the sovereign of the order. Its motto is Victoria, and its official day is the 20th of June. The order's chapel is the Savoy Chapel in London. There are no limits on the number honoured, and admission remains the personal gift of the monarch, with each of the order's 5 grades and 1 medal with 3 levels representing different levels of service. While all those honoured may use the prescribed styles of the order, the top 2 grades grant titles of knighthood, and all grades are called distinct post-nominal letters. The Royal Victorian Order's precedence amongst other honours differs from realm to realm, and admission to some grades may be barred to citizens of those realms by government policy. Creation. Prior to the close of the 19th century, most general honours within the British Empire were bestowed by the sovereign on the advice of her British ministers, who sometimes forwarded advice from ministers of the Crown in the dominions and colonies. Queen Victoria thus established on the 21st of April 1896 the Royal Victorian Order as a junior and personal order of knighthood that allowed her to bestow directly to an empire-wide community honours for personal services. The organisation was founded a year preceding Victoria's Diamond Jubilee, so as to give the Queen time to complete a list of first inductees. The order's official day was made the 20th of June of each year, marking the anniversary of Queen Victoria's accession to the throne. In 1902, King Edward VII created the Royal Victorian chain as a personal decoration for royal personages and a few eminent British subjects, and it was the highest class of the Royal Victorian Order. It is today distinct from the order, though it is officially issued by the Chancery of the Royal Victorian Order. After 1931, when the Statute of Westminster came into being and the dominions of the British Empire became independent states, equal in status to Britain, the Royal Victorian Order remained an honour open to all the King's realms. Thus, as with the monarch who conferred it, the order ceased to be purely British. The order was open to foreigners from its inception, the Prefect of Alpes Maritimes and the Mayor of Nice being the first to receive the honour in 1896. Officers and grades. The reigning monarch is at the apex of the Royal Victorian Order as its sovereign, followed by the Grand Master. The latter position was created in 1937 and was occupied by Queen Elizabeth from that date until her death in 2002. Queen Elizabeth II then appointed her daughter, and Princess Royal, to the position in 2007. Below the Grand Master are 5 officials of the organisation: the Chancellor, held by the Lord Chamberlain; the Secretary, held by the Keeper of the Privy Purse and Treasurer to the Queen; the Registrar, held by the Secretary to the Central Chancery of the Orders of Knighthood; the Chaplain, held by the Chaplain of the Queen's Chapel of the Savoy; and the Genealogist. Thereafter follow those honoured with different grades of the order, divided into 5 levels, the highest 2 conferring accolades of knighthood and all having post-nominal letters, and, lastly, the holders of the Royal Victorian Medal in either gold, silver, or bronze. Foreigners may be admitted as honorary members. There are no limits to the number of any grade, and promotion is possible. The styles of knighthood are not used by princes, princesses, or peers in the uppermost ranks of the society, save for when the names are written in the fullest forms for the most official occasions. Retiring Deans of the Royal Peculiars of St. George's Chapel at Windsor Castle and Westminster Abbey are customarily inducted as Knights Commander. Clergymen appointed to the higher levels of The Royal Victorian Order do not use the associated styles, however, and honorary members are not permitted to hold them at all. Prior to 1984, the grades of lieutenant and member were classified as members and members, respectively, but both with the post-nominals MVO. On the 31st of December of that year, Queen Elizabeth II declared that those in the grade of member would henceforth be lieutenants with the post-nominals LVO. Insignia and vestments. Upon admission into the Royal Victorian Order, members are given various insignia of the organization, each grade being represented by different emblems and robes. Common for all members is the badge, which is a Maltese cross with a central medallion depicting on a red background the royal cipher of Queen Victoria surrounded by a blue ring, bearing the motto of the order, Victoria, and surmounted by a Tudor crown. However, there are variations on the badge for each grade of the order. Knights and Dames Grand Cross wear the badge on a sash passing from the right shoulder to the left hip. Knight Commanders wear the badge on a ribbon at the neck. Male commanders, lieutenants, and members wear the badge from a ribbon on the left chest, and women in all grades below Damehood Cross wear the badge on a bow pinned at the left shoulder. For Knights and Dames Grand Cross commanders and lieutenants, the Maltese cross is rendered in white enamel with gold edging, while that for Knights and Dames Commander and members is in silver. Further, the size of the badge varies by rank, that for the higher classes being larger, and Knights and Dames Grand Cross and Knights and Dames Commander have the cross surrounded by a star. For the former, an 8-pointed silver star, and from the latter, an 8-pointed silver Maltese cross with silver rays between each arm. The medal bears the effigy and name of the reigning sovereign at the time of its awarding, as well as the phrase Dei Gratia Regina F.D., Defender of the Faith, and on the reverse is the royal cipher upon an ornamental shield within a laurel wreath. Bars may be awarded to each class of medal for further services, and should recipients be awarded a higher level of medal or be appointed to a grade of the order itself, they may continue to wear their original medal along with the new insignia. The order's ribbon is blue with red stripe edging, the only difference being that for foreigners appointed into the society, the ribbon bearing an additional central white stripe. For Knights Grand Cross, the ribbon is 82.5 mm wide, for Dames Grand Cross 57.1 mm, for Knights and Dames Commander 44.4 mm, and for all other members 31.7 mm. At formal events, or colour days, of which there are 34 throughout the year, such as New Year's Day and royal anniversaries, Knights and Dames Grand Cross wear the Royal Victorian Order's livery collar, consisting of an alternating string of octagonal gold pieces depicting a gold rose on a blue field and gold oblong frames within which one of 4 inscriptions, Victoria.It, Reg, Def, Fid, and IND. The chain supports a larger octagonal medallion with a blue enamel surface edged in red and charged with a saltire, over which is an effigy of Queen Victoria. Members of the order suspend from this medallion their insignia as a badge, a pendant, though after the death of a knight or dame Grand Cross their insignia may be retained by the family. The collar must be returned. Knights and Dames Grand Cross also wear a mantle of dark blue satin edged with red satin and lined with white satin, bearing a representation of the order's star on the left side. Chaplin Associations. Since 1938, the Chapel of the Royal Victorian Order has been the Queen's Chapel of the Savoy, in central London, England. However, the population of the order has grown to the point that the Savoy Chapel can no longer accommodate the gathering of members held every 4 years, and St George's Chapel at Windsor Castle is now employed for the event. The Sovereign and Knights and Dames Grand Cross of the Order are allotted stalls in the Savoy Chapel's choir, and on the back of each stall is affixed a brass plate displaying the occupant's name, coat of arms, and date of admission in into the organization. Upon the occupant's death, the plate is retained, leaving the stalls festooned with a record of the Order's Knights and Dames Grand Cross since 1938. There is insufficient space in the chapel for the display of Knights and Dames banners and other heraldic devices. The Royal Victorian Order Association of Canada exists for all Canadians appointed to the order or who have received the Royal Victorian Medal. It is the only such organization in the Commonwealth realms. Founded by Michael Jackson, the group has, since 2008, gathered biennially. Eligibility and appointment. Membership in the Royal Victorian Order is conferred by the reigning monarch without ministerial advice on those who have performed personal service for the sovereign, any member of his or her family, or any of his or her viceroys. All living citizens of any Commonwealth realm, including women since 1936, are eligible for any of the 5 levels of the order, save for Canadians, as admission to the top 2 levels of the organization provides for an honorary prefix. Canadians are not normally appointed to these levels as long as the monarch's Canadian ministry adheres to the Nickel Resolution of 1919, as it was deemed by the Canadian Cabinet to be an honor within the gift of the monarch. The appointment of Canadians to the order resumed in 1972, and eligibility was extended to those who render services to the monarch's representatives in the country, officials within the provincial spheres being included after 1984. Originally, the Queen chose inductees herself, though the Governor-General of Canada and the Canadian Secretary to the Queen could provide suggestions. Some passed to them by the Lieutenant Governors. The practice of notifying the Prime Minister of Canada of nominees ended in 1982, to distance the order as far from politics as possible. It was reported in 2008 that some in the Chancellery of Honours at Rideau Hall wished to eliminate the Royal Victorian Order from the Canadian honours system and sometimes contested when a Canadian was appointed. However, no formal changes were ever planned. In Canada, the order has come to be colloquially dubbed as the Royal Visit Order, as the majority of appointments are made by the sovereign during her tours of the country. Foreign members will generally be admitted as honorary members of the Royal Victorian Order when the Queen is making a state visit to the individual's country or a head of state is paying a state visit to the United Kingdom. Persons have been removed from the order at the monarch's command. Anthony Blunt, a former surveyor of the Queen's pictures, was in 1979 stripped of his knighthood after it was revealed that he had been a spy. Also, William Pottinger, a senior civil servant, in 1975 lost his membership in both the Order of the Bath and the Royal Victorian Order when he was jailed for corruptly receiving gifts from the architect John Powelson. Precedence. As the Royal Victorian Order is open to the citizens of 16 different countries, each with their own system of orders, decorations, and medals, the RVO's place of precedence varies from country to country. Some are as follows. In the United Kingdom, the wives of male members of all classes also feature on the order of precedence, as do sons, daughters and daughters-in-law of Knights Grand Cross and Knights Commanders. Relatives of dames, however, are not assigned any special precedence. As a general rule, individuals can derive precedence from the fathers or husbands, but not from the mothers or wives. Current Knights and Dames Grand Cross. Sovereign, Queen Elizabeth II. Grand Master, and Princess Royal KGKTGCVOQSOGCLCDFRCVSFRS, appointed Damehood Cross in 1974, Grand Master since 2007, Knights and Dames Grand Cross the Duke of Kent KGGCMGGCVOADCFBCS, appointed 1960. Princess Alexandra KGGCVOCD, appointed 1960. The Earl of Snowdon GCVORDI, appointed 1969. The Duke of Gloucester KGGCVOSSN, appointed 1974. The Duchess of Kent GCVO, appointed 1977. The Duchesses of Grafton GCVO, appointed 1980. Sir Ninian Stephen KGAKGCMGGCVOKBEQC, appointed 1982. The Earl of Airlie KTGCVOPCJP, appointed 1984. The Duchesses of Gloucester GCVO, appointed 1989. Sir William Heseltine GCBGCVOACQSOPC, appointed 1990. Sir Anthony Ackland KGGCMGGCVO, appointed 1991. Sir Ewan Ferguson GCMGGCVO, appointed 1992. Sir Christopher Mallaby GCMGGCVO, appointed 1992. The Lord Waddington GCVOPCQCDL, appointed 1994. Sir Brian Fall GCVOKCMG, appointed 1994. Sir Matthew Farrer GCVO, appointed 1994. Dame Catherine Tizard ONZ GCMGGCVODBEQSO, appointed 1995. The Lord Fellows GCBGCVOQSOPC, appointed 1996. Sir Shane Blewett GCVO, appointed 1996. The Lord Camoys GCVOPCDL, appointed 1998. Sir Simon Cooper GCVO, appointed 2000. The Lord Luce KGGCVOPCDL, appointed 2000. Sir Hugh Hamilton Dalrymple BT GCVO, appointed 2001. The Lord Stirling of Plaistow GCVOCBE, appointed 2002. The Earl of Crawford and Balcarres KTGCVOPC, appointed 2002. Prince Michael of Kent GCVOCD, appointed 2003. Sir John Holmes GCVOKBECMG, appointed 2004. Sir Peter Torrey GCVOKCMG, appointed 2004. Sir Malcolm Ross GCVOOBE, appointed 2005. The Earl Peel GCVOPCDL, appointed 2006. The Lord John Vryn GCBGCVOQSOPC, appointed 2007. Sir Donald McKinnon ONZ GCVOPC, appointed 2009. The Countesses of Wessex GCVO, appointed 2010. Sir Hugh Roberts GCVO, appointed 2010. Brigadier Sir Miles Hunt Davis GCVOCBE, appointed 2010. The Duke of York KGGCVOCDADC, appointed 2011. The Earl of Wessex KGGCVOSOMADC, appointed 2011. Sir Michael Peat GCVO, appointed 2011. The Duchess of Cornwall GCVO, appointed 2012. Sir Alan Reid GCVO, appointed 2012. The Lady Hussey of North Bradley GCVO, appointed 2013. Dame Mary Ann Morrison GCVO, appointed 2013. Sir Peter Riggets GCMGGCVO, appointed 2014. Honorary Knights and Dames Grand Cross King Michael I, appointed 1937. Prince Harold, appointed 1955. Henrik, Prince Consort, appointed 1974. Hereditary Grand Duke Henry, appointed 1976. Qaboos bin Said Al Said, appointed 1979. Crown Prince Mohammed, appointed 1980. Queen Beatrix, appointed 1982. Prince Felipe, appointed 1988. Khaled Al-Duwayzan, appointed 1995. Crown Prince Vajiralongkorn, appointed 1996. Princess Sirindhorn, appointed 1996. Princess Chulabhorn, appointed 1996. Archbishop Luigi Barbarito, appointed 1996. Crown Prince Al-Muhtadi appointed 1998. Emeka Enirokus appointed 2000. King Albert II, Emperor Akihito, Prince Hassan bin Talal,